Marvel's most iconic family has been rebooted for the third time. You know what they say, third time is a charm, because the last time we have seen these characters on the big screen, the team was fighting the Dollar General version of Doctor Doom. Then the previous version in the 2000s, we had Galactus in the shape of a giant cloud of shit. In 1994, well, it was so bad, the head of Marvel Movies paid off the film so it wouldn't be released. It's now 2025, and after years of legal battles and script changes, we finally have Fantastic Four: The First Steps. As disclosed, this is a spoiler-free review. Fantastic Four: The First Steps is the first Fantastic Four film set in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but not directly in the world we are used to. The world where main characters like Iron Man and Spider-Man reside in Earth 616. The Fantastic Four in this film exist on Earth 828. Earth 828 is a 1960s retro-futuristic world just like the original 1961 comic by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. 2025 superhero movies are all about comic accuracy. Not you, Captain America. I like the choice as it makes this film feel more standalone, but also gives us a chance to appreciate this unique aesthetic that normally we can't get in Earth 616. The Fantastic Four members tend to always remain the same, and this film is no different, as we have Mr. Fantastic played by Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby as Invisible Woman, Joseph Quinn as Human Torch, and Aban Mas-Bakrak as The Thing. They are the main heroes of the world, and like the Avengers, they have their own headquarters in New York. However, the Avengers tend to be less involved with the media since they're too busy bitching at each other.
What did I tell you would happen if you ate the last donut with red, white, and blue sprinkles?
The Fantastic Four has better PR training for sure, and everyone loves them. Things are going good for the team as it's been 4 years of them fighting against minor threats, and now that the team feels comfortable, Mr. Fantastic or Reed Richards is having a baby with Sue, also known as Invisible Woman. I guess coworker relationships work. A stretchy man and an invisible woman are now mixing genes, and after attempts of trying, Sue is finally pregnant, and you expect her and Reed to be happy, but it brings them with concern. I mean, you mix a shark with a snake and you get something you've never seen before. If taken into the wrong hands, this could be the next Thanos. Sue, Reed, and the team make sure that delivery goes smooth, unlike that TikTok shop order. In their way of all of this is Silver Surfer and Galactus. Silver Surfer this time is a girl played by Julia Gardner. This is Shalal Bal, who usually is Norrin Raid's girlfriend, in which he gives the Silver Surfer powers to her, but this version changes that, and now she comes from her own planet like Rad. Like the Silver Surfer we are used to, she is a servant to the largest eater you know, Galactus. That boy is hungrier than little Sammy. He goes around the universe munching on planets, which I would not want to be around his toilet.
I herald your shit!
Galactus wants to eat Earth 828, but before he arrives, Silver Surfer is sent to give them the message.
Tell them the message. Give them the message.
The Fantastic Four are alarmed by this, and they decide to go to space to speak to Galactus. In an attempt to negotiate, Galactus only offers to spare Earth in exchange for Sue and Reed's baby. This leaves the Fantastic Four with a decision like no other, but they will have to face pressure from humanity and Galactus. A fairly simple plot, and that is one thing I like about this film, is the simplicity. There's no greater scheme, there's no Disney Plus show required to understand an arc. Everything is established yet feels lived in, and that is what comic books do the best. This is the first Marvel movie in a while where it feels like pages of a comic book were coming to life while not looking too wacky. It mixes modern with retro perfectly. Honestly, might be the best looking MCU film, and the production team killed it, which is impressive since Marvel is known for lacking in this department. Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four are on a back-to-back streak of having good-looking Marvel movies. Hopefully, Spider-Man Brand New Day and Avengers Doomsday do not break that streak. For me, Thunderbolts was great looking, but the story didn't land with me as I felt it had those MCU writing kinks that I'm just not rocking with anymore. Still a decent film, but I was worried that the same would happen here as the trailers looked good, but could it get over the multiverse writing hump? It does. I am a big fan of this story. It deals with themes of parenthood, family, humanity, sacrifice, themes that are big when it comes to being superheroes, as well as being a family like the Fantastic Four. I like the drama between Sue and Reed, as Sue seems to be more competent socially than him. Even though he is the mastermind, he still struggles to do simple things and think in simple ways that it creates a tension-filled dynamic with Sue. Tension is much needed with superhero films, especially because we get so many that sometimes the writers forget to add it in exchange for more setup. This film is not worried about the next. It embraces the world, and it knows that audiences want to see these characters feel free. For an hour and 55-minute movie, it is paced perfectly. It jumps right into the story with a little introduction that gives us a taste of the world. There's no awkward pauses and space for laughs and cameos, yet this has those moments that make the fans go, hell yeah. It does what good movies should do, and that is establish arcs within the film that audiences will feel because of what the characters have shown you so far, and not because you have watched a movie from 10 years ago and now you're being nostalgia baited. Silver Surfer has one of the stronger arcs, and for someone who is not a main character, it is nice to see that each character matters and is not taking up vacant space. There are maybe one or two characters that feel like they don't do as much as what is set up for them, but that might have drawn away from the main story. The Thing especially had something going on, and it's a shame that we don't see his story play out, as he is too busy supporting the main drama between Sue and Reed. It's a thing that the Thing does. It would have been better if there's some sort of drama going on with his relationship, or some sort of struggle that is personally affecting him that makes him change or do something important in the film, but the whole time he's just really nonchalant. In some ways it's great because he's comforting, but besides that, he is two-dimensional. Even Groot and Hulk had more significance in their team-up films. The Thing's character arc is better in the 2000s films because he's always butting heads with everyone and he struggles with being himself. Also, there's drama with his love life, and it makes him more humanized. We get a taste here, but it's not fleshed out. Johnny is someone that I thought I would dislike because I am not a fan of Joseph Quinn. He proves me wrong, as he shows the charisma and arrogance of Johnny Storm while also being useful with his powers and even his brain. Great arc there, and someone I'm also not the biggest fan of is Pedro Pascal, and he actually puts on a good performance. Not only is his character written like a realistic psychopathic nerd, but Pascal displays his twisted side of Reed that sells his character's betrayal. Vanessa Kirby is great as Sue, and she is truly the heart of this team as she manages to save their asses while trying to take care of her baby. True mothering. Is she finer than Jessica Alba? No one will touch her looks. She's actually written well and is not just an excuse to have another naked Invisible Woman joke. Those 2000s Marvel writers are perverts. And Galactus is peak. He has just enough screen time, and when he is displayed, he steals the show. They nailed his look, and the scale of him paired with the incredible voice acting from Ralph Ineson makes his presence stand out compared to other MCU villains. With all the good praise I've had, is this the best Fantastic Four film? Yes. Is it the best Marvel movie? No. It's definitely up there. I have it in my top 10 for sure because I think its visuals wipe the floor from at least 25 other MCU films. The fact that this film has such a cool world and vibe is something that I want to rewatch. I think that certain things hold this film back from being truly fantastic.
Say that again?
There are a few shots where CGI was wonky, but it isn't that bad where it will take you out of the film, but why I bring that up is it's usually during big action scenes. Moments where we get to see these characters show their powers, which they do, but I feel like Reed doesn't get to do enough stretchy stuff.
What?
Matt Shakeman, the director of the film, wanted Reed to be more realistic, and sure, some groundness is cool, but this is the Fantastic Four you're dealing with. The team doesn't get enough time in their suits, and it's not a flaw because it makes their suit up moments better. It's just sometimes it feels like we're missing out on what we're paying for. It's the MCU formula that lurks in every film, like another gripe I have, which the masked characters never wear their mask. I want to see them in their true form for as much as I can. Another flaw that I mentioned earlier was shallow arcs, but it's impossible to close off every arc, especially in an hour and 55-minute movie. The film does have high stakes, but some might feel that it plays it safe. To a degree, yes, because it has windows to do something we have never seen before, but it is an introduction movie, so if it were to take those huge risks, it may ruin the MCU's plan. It is what it is at this point. The film still managed to create an unsafe tension that, for a few moments, actually had me fearful and sometimes even choking up. There are truly some great scenes in this film that you will have to experience for yourself on the biggest screen possible. This is one of the greatest summers for movies, and at this point, if you're only streaming movies, you are missing out on an experience. This is an MCU film that I have not rolled my eyes at since Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Besides these two films, it has been a rough ride in the MCU. There is hope, and speaking of hope, which one is worth seeing more? Superman or Fantastic Four? I would say both because they're both great superhero movies that pay tribute to its source material and create something unique. Which one do I like more? I think Superman feels more personal because I'm a DC Comics guy and it felt good to see him portrayed in a hopeful way after the DCU mess that was Henry Cavill.
Shut up, bitch!
Fantastic Four also paints these characters in a way needed to be seen for the first time ever, but I think the story doesn't land as hard as a punch as Superman did, especially with the film's commentary. I think Fantastic Four blows Superman away visually, so there are pros and cons with both films, but they are the step in the right direction of how comic book movies should be, even if they aren't perfect. Fantastic Four for me is an 8.7 out of 10 and is an MCU film I will actually rewatch and enjoy. Keep Matt Shakeman in Marvel. Go out to the movies, everyone. I mean it. This is a summer to remember, and there are still more films coming out. If you like what you're seeing, well, what the fuck are you doing? Subscribe and enjoy the ride. As much film content as I do, man's gotta eat. And for this movie, surprisingly, they made a Fantastic Four pizza.
It's fantastic.
And I'm gonna try each of them really quick. Look at that box. Can't go wrong with Little Caesars. Now, I think this one is the pepperoni one. I think that is for Reed Richards, so we're gonna just try a slice of this one. One white, you know the test.
Let me be clear. Fuck you.
Pepperoni, pretty good. So I'm not going to put it back in the box. I actually am going to donate this pizza to my local charity. I need a Galaxy though. This is the Johnny Storm pizza. See here, there's like jalapenos and pepperoni on there. I usually don't like spicy stuff, but I'm going to try it anyway. So I got jalapeno there. Spicy like Jessica Alba. We got the thing pizza with a lot of meat on there. You know I like my meat.
Whoa!
That one's got some good like meatiness to it. Lastly, just plain cheese from good old Sue Storm. Cheese pizza is the best from Little Caesars. So, rating wise, pepperoni 8 out of 10, jalapeno one 6 out of 10, thing pizza 7 out of 10, the cheese from Little Caesars 9 out of 10. Can't go wrong with it.